Hey everybody, it's Peter from Brantford Kia, and I'm super excited to tell you about the 2019 Kia Sedona, and this is the SX trim. Now, one of our most watched videos, as far as minutes watched, is actually the Kia Sedona from last year. This one has a slight redesign. That was an LX Plus that we did. You can watch that on our YouTube channel. This one's the SX trim, so it's a one step up from that one. And of course, with the redesign, packages are changed. The big thing we need to tell you about this is with Ford not making minivans and Chrysler not making the same minivans, the Town & Country gone, GM doesn't make minivans, Kia has seen an opportunity to really hit the value market. So that's where this van plugs in. We're gonna walk around the car, we're gonna take a look at the outside, the inside, we're gonna move away from the trunk to the back seat to the driver's seat. We're gonna show you as much as we can, but we're probably gonna miss something, and that's what the comments below are for. If you have something you wanna know about this car, let us know in the comments below, and we'll do our best to answer it. We know that there's a lot of interest in this vehicle, so we're gonna do our best to answer your questions, whether it's in subsequent videos or just in the comments themselves. So if you wanna see more videos like this, give us a like on the video, give us a positive comment, and we'll make sure our bosses know that you want to see more of this. So let's take a look at the 2019 Kia Sedona SX. So we'll start at the very front of the vehicle. Slight redesign here. If you're not a real huge Kia fan, you probably won't notice the difference, but there is a little bit of difference in the grille here, a little bit of difference in the bumper. So basically the plastic out front is a little new, gives a little different styling, changes the aerodynamics a tiny bit. No real significant difference. This one has in the SX the projector beam fog lights down here, as well as projector beam headlights. That gives you a nice clean cutoff and a nice bright white even light on all your headlights. Again, grille is just a styling exercise. They just change it to update the look a little bit. The paint on this car, on the video you won't see it, but this is our pearl white paint. So it has a real nice metallic sparkle. Really hard to show on video, but in the sunlight today, shows up really well. So when we're out here, we're going to talk about the engine. Now, a lot of you have heard about our Kia Stinger, 3.3 liter V6. Well, this is also a 3.3 liter V6. Sort of some shared components there. Don't expect Stinger-like performance. That one's a twin turbo and it is a different engine, but very similar, some shared components in that. 3.3 liter V6. The big change for 2019, the change you don't see, is this now has an 8-speed transmission. Again, Kia Stinger also has an 8-speed transmission. So that 8-speed is working its way through our V6 cars. So the Sorento for 2019 is slightly refreshed, just like this. Its V6 has the 8-speed transmission. So does this. The Stinger has an 8-speed transmission. So that 8-speed transmission is working its way through the lineup. And what that does is it really helps with drivability. So this car can tow 3,500 pounds. That 8-speed transmission is going to keep you right in that power band. If you don't tow, it's still the kind of transmission that can keep you in the power band. It can help with real-world fuel economy. This has better city mileage than it used to. Highway mileage has always been quite good on this car. Very similar highway mileage on this car to the previous car. But that 8-speed transmission is always going to keep you in the power band. Not something you need to worry about, but you may have noticed that it always feels peppy compared to the previous one. And it's also got you, it drives really smooth. It's a very quick shifting transmission, so it drives really nice. That's the big difference out front. We're going to move our way to the back. We're going to show you a couple special features out there, and we'll move our way through the car as well. All right, as we take a look at the back of the car, you see a few changes as well. The plastics are a little bit different. Again, you won't notice unless you're a real Kia fan. We've also got different lights in here now. Some of the models have LED light trim, so that looks really sharp. But also just different design overall. Same idea as the Sorento redesign, if you've watched our Sorento redesign. So of course, Sorento would be our SUV. This is our van. Why would you buy a van? Well, first of all, visibility is fantastic in this car. You've got the big windows on the side, which are where you need them, instead of having the big pillars like you have in a lot of SUVs, so you can see out of them. It's easy to drive. It's got little things like the parking sensors on the back of this SX model. Those are those little tiny dots. I'm not sure if you can see them in video. What they do is they help you help tell you if you're near an object. So let's say your kid dropped a bike here, or you've got a pole in the parking lot. Those will help you see them because you have a backup camera and a nice big clear screen, but sometimes you're looking around, you're looking at maybe kids in the back, you're looking out your mirrors, looking out the thing. You don't always see everything. So those parking sensors, not only will they beep and progressively beep faster as you get closer to that object, they'll also tell you in your dash which side of the vehicle or in the center the object is. So for instance, if I had something here in my dash, it would tell me that the left side. So you can look again in your camera and go, oh yeah, I do see that pole there. So little features like that. Another big feature I really love that Kia is doing is they have a smart tailgate. Now a lot of companies have tailgates that will open when you wave your hands underneath, but this is a family vehicle. You might be carrying your baby. You don't want to be standing in the snow and ice waving your foot underneath the car to open the car. Well, this works with your proximity key. So I've set it up. You can see the car starts to beep as soon as I get close to the vehicle. It's about 3 seconds, and then the thing opens all by itself. I didn't have to wave my feet. I didn't have to do anything. You can deactivate the feature. It's something that you won't set off by accident when you come around the car, but you can do that without touching the car. That's available on the LX Plus and up. Might even be available on the LX. We'll double check that. But LX Plus and up for sure, you can get that smart lift gate. So again, no waving your feet underneath. You got your hands full of maybe your children, your gear, your stuff. You don't have to touch the trunk to open it. And when you want to shut the trunk, again, button up there, and there you go. Lots of space back there. We'll talk about that in a second. We're going to hop in the back seats, talk about some of the practicality of a minivan and how this one in specific is really practical with its use of space. So let's go take a look at that. So as I walk around the side of the car, you can see more of that proximity sensor. Watch the mirror as I approach the car. That proximity key allows you to be greeted by that mirror. It opens up. You can turn that feature on or off, but it's a kind of a cool feature. The other thing I like is there's a button on the door to unlock the vehicle. So if this is locked right now, since I shut the tailgate, it's all locked up. You can use the button on the driver's door, but it also has a button on the passenger door here. And I like that. You touch it, door opens automatically. These are automatic doors in the SX model, and you've got some really comfortable seats. Now this vehicle has not even been PDI'd, pre-delivery inspection. Usually we take all the plastic off. I've just pulled this literally almost off the truck to get it out for a video. So I won't show you everything in here, but one thing I do want to show you is the practicality of the seats. People talk about stow and go with Chrysler, and that's great. Now the driver's seat is actually back quite a ways. We'll put it to a comfortable spot. But these are fold and go seats. So what they do is they still give you all that floor space, and the big thing you lose in those stow and go seats with our competitors is the ability to have an adult size comfortable seat. Now this is hard to work with the plastic still on it, but you can see that seat folds forward. That allows you to do a couple things. One, get into the back, but two, have a full flat cargo floor. This is an 8-passenger model, everything other than the L model. So we've got L, LX Plus, SX, SX Plus, SXL, SXL Plus. Those are all the trim lines in this car. So everything is an 8-passenger except for the L, that's a 7-passenger. And the center seat here, you can take out of the car. So you can have that aisleway there. You can have the center seat in there. You can use it as an armrest, which is folded down right now. We can show you that in a minute. But there's a lot of space and functionality back here. Now we're gonna take a closer look inside. I'm gonna hop in, I'm gonna show you some of the features that we see as well. All right, so here I am in the back seat of the van, super comfortable, and that's the big thing you get with vans. The center row seats here are really comfortable, but so is the third row seats. So the big benefit over a van, over an SUV, if you're looking at that, you've got a much bigger cargo well behind the third row seats in a van, and you've got good seats all around that fit adults the whole way through. This is our center seat here. I've got it folded down. It's got an arm, or it's got a cup holder in the back here, and a little space for maybe a phone. Down here, I've got a USB port so I can plug in a phone. There's also a little slot above the USB port where I can set my phone while it's charging. There's also a 110 volt outlet, so a standard standard home outlet there that you can activate by turning on in the front dash. So if you have video game systems, laptops, some other system and you want to plug it in, you can do that down there as well, plug that in. There's a little storage compartment down here. Big thing I love with a lot of our Kias, the back seats, or the back of the front seat, is actually plastic. Now this is just plastic trim that comes with delivery. We can peel that off. You probably can't even see it in the video anyways, but I'm not talking about this cheap plastic. What I mean is the back of the seat is plastic. And that's a big feature because if you've got kids like I do, and they're getting the back of the seats dirty, if it's fabric, they're gonna get it dirty and stain it forever. This is just plastic. It's easy to wipe up, easy to clean. If they spill their drinks or spill something, you can just wipe it clean. You've got a little cargo net inside in the both seats here, so you can put your kids' stuff or your person, whoever's sitting behind you, there's stuff to put there. And while we're talking about the fabric, let's talk about stain resistance. This is called Yes Essential Fabrics. It is a stain resistant fabric. So even though it's a lighter material, it's not something you have to worry about. It is stain resistant. You can of course go upgrade Scotchgard. We have a number of systems you can do to put on the fabric. But it is a stain resistant fabric. So the lighter color gives you a nice airy interior, but it's not something you have to worry too much about for general usage. What else should I show you? There's a hook back here. You can hang your grocery bags and still have them within reach of the driver. One thing I really want to show you, every window back here in the SX trim has a sunshade. So instead of having to have, this is something I should do with my right hand, not my left hand, but instead of having sunshades that are built in, If I sat in the right seat, I could lift that up with one hand. You have a sunshade on every rear window. So both doors, both rear windows, if you have kids in the back or you have people where you want to give them a little more sun protection, you can still see out, but instead of having those ugly stick-on stickers, you can have those as well. You've got rear air conditioning in this car. There are controls here, so your rear seat passengers can control their own temperature. If you don't want them doing that, you can lock them out from the front as well. So lots to show, lots of room here. I've sat in a previous video in the back seat. No change from this and the previous model. You can easily fit, I'm about 6 feet tall, tons of room. You can easily fit me inside the back, inside the center seats as well. And in the SX model, you've got the power doors, LX Plus and up, you've got the power doors. So lots of room there. Now we're going to move to the driver's seat. The driver's seat is where we start seeing some of the trim differences and the value added in these packages. So let's go there next. All right, so here we are in the driver's seat, and this is where this car really gets better and better for me. This is where the value added, you start to see that. So let's start with the seat. First of all, you've got a power seat in the SX model, power lumbar support as well, so you can bring your lumbar in and out. Big thing I like about these seats is I don't care if you're short, tall. We've had really tall customers, really short customers, and sometimes the same customer, husband and wife, share a vehicle and they're very different sizes. You can always get comfortable in the Sedona. It's got a nice dead pedal so you can put your foot there. The steering wheel is of course telescopic and tilts, so you can get that exactly where you need it. But the big thing you notice is a little bit step up in technology. So in this SX model, you've got UVO intelligence. Now what does that mean? Basically what it means is on an app on your phone, you can start this car from anywhere in the world. You can lock it and unlock it. So if your kids are at hockey practice and you're inside maybe watching your one kid playing hockey and the other kid forgot to get something out of the van, you can unlock it from your smartphone while you're sitting anywhere in the world. As long as you have cell reception, you can unlock the car for them. They can get their stuff. You can lock it back up. You can see if it's locked. Super helpful. Of course, you can also start the car with that app. A lot of security features, an enhanced roadside assistance feature. So you see some of those buttons on the mirrors up here. If you're looking for UVO intelligence, we have one video up online on it right now. We're going to do more. Another thing I really like about UVO intelligence is a lot of families with vans have kids spread apart in different ages, and this becomes maybe the vehicle that your older kids learn to drive in. You can locate the vehicle, so you can always find out where that vehicle is. If you've got someone out in the car and you're concerned about them, you don't have to call them and distract them while they're driving. You can find out where that car is just by using the UVO intelligence app. So that might be a good feature in the van, which might be a little less useful in other features. But that UVO intelligence app is available now. It's a big feature for us. Big thing you'll see when you hop in, big screen now. The older vans, only the upper levels had the big screen. Now you get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on every single Sedona. That's a huge feature. I've done videos on both of them, so if you have an Apple phone, look for the Apple CarPlay video on our YouTube channel. If you have an Android, it's Android Auto's video. Big thing I like, let's just say Android Auto. You go out, the van's your family vehicle, you're traveling. Let's say you go to a town you've never been to before and you need to get to a coffee shop or a restaurant. You can look that up on Google Maps, and right away your maps are going to be fully up to date because the most up-to-date maps in the world are on your smartphone, and that means it can be updated all the time. So when the car is 10 years old, your maps aren't 10 years old. That's the benefit of that navigation. But the big thing I like is you look up that coffee shop or that restaurant or grocery store, and you can see the Google review rating. So let's say it's a 2-star restaurant, and right next door is a 5-star restaurant as far as Google reviews, customer reviews. Well, you know where you're going to go because of that. So lots of those features available baked right in. The thing I like with Android Auto is I can set myself a reminder. So when I get home, remind me to take the garbage out. As soon as I get home, I can speak that to my car. As soon as I get home, my cell phone will remind me. So when I pull in, if it doesn't show up on the screen because I turn the car off right away, you can set location-based reminders when I get to work, when I get to the grocery store. You can tell yourself in the car, and when you leave the car, it can give you reminders right on your cell phone. Great features, and all that is baked into this with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You also have a more advanced display cluster in the center here, more advanced displays that higher resolution, give you some more options. The basics, let's talk about the basics. Automatic headlights, you've got cruise control, you've got stereo and Bluetooth controls. This one has blind spot detection. So the thing I love about blind spot detection is it's actually 2 features in one with a Kia. It tells you when someone's in your blind spot, it activates a little orange light on your mirror, so you know someone is your blind spot, but it also uses those same sensors when you're in a parking lot. So when I put this car in reverse in a parking lot and I'm backing out of a spot, it's a longer vehicle, I can't see out the driver's window what someone could see at the back bumper. Well, what that does is it uses those sensors, and if there's a car coming towards you, it'll warn you, 1, that there's a car or a person coming, and 2, which side they're coming from. So you'll get a beeping noise, you can look at your displays and it'll say, you know, be careful, there's someone coming from the left or the right side. A super good feature when you're backing this car out of spots where you can't always see everything. And that's part of the blind spot detection system. It's called rear cross traffic alert. Works really well. This one's push button start. Most of the vans are now push button start, which gives you that proximity, excuse me, gives you that proximity key. That proximity key gives you all those features with the doors, gives you the features with the smart trunk. So that's super helpful. So the big thing this has got with the climate system is you've got tri-zone climate control. You've got driver can be set to one temperature, the passenger at a separate temperature, and the rear seats at another temperature. So you can bring them all together, set them all at the same temperature, or you can customize them. Maybe you've got different people with different needs, different temperature desires. You can set all that up on your climate system here. It's also got the clean air system, an ionizer. It helps keep particles out of the air, allergens, great for an allergy sufferer like me. That's available on most of our models. Again, in this SX model, it comes standard. The 8-speed transmission I talked about, nothing different from the shifter. You've got a standard 8-speed or automatic 8-speed transmission. It comes in every V6, every van that we have. You can manually shift that. So if you're towing, you want to manually shift, you can do that. Drive modes, it's got multiple drive modes, help you get better economy by switching into eco. It's also got a comfort mode. So those are features you have. A couple features I love, heated seats, they come in the SX. Also heated steering wheel. So the heated steering wheel is now in the LX Plus and above. Great features there. You got dual glove boxes, tons and tons of features. One feature I really like that they sort of surprised me with is the SX comes with a sunroof. And the sunroof is great because it's not one of those sunroofs that sits behind you. So it gives you that nice light area when you're driving. If you open it up, you can actually see outside instead of the ones that sort of sit behind you. So they call it a, the smaller of our sunroofs. Some of our SUVs have panoramic sunroofs, but this has a normal size sunroof, works great for the front two seats. You can close the sunshade if you just want a roof there instead of a glass, no problem. A lot of little features in this van. There's hundreds that I could show you. Of course, it's got the mirror down here, up top here, which has a convex mirror, and it shows you everybody in the van. So that's in addition to your regular mirror, which your regular mirror you can use for driving safety. Little things like this. You've got your sun visors, which of course flip out to the side. They also roll back. So if you've got the sun coming in right here, you can hide that from you. There are a ton of thoughtful features in this car. Makes it great for road trips, great for families. I'm short for time. They want to cut the grass around me today. So if there's something else you want to know about this vehicle, let me know. We'll make another video. We'll answer in the comments. We'd love to hear what you have to say. We're excited about this van. It's brand new to us. Like I said, I barely took the plastic off, so there's lots more for me to learn about it as well. But yeah, let us know. Let us know in the comments. Again, if you can give us a like, positive comment, that'd be great. It lets our bosses know that you want to see more. And if you want to see this van, we do these videos to earn your business. So if you're in the greater Toronto area, anywhere, we've had customers from Niagara recently, we've had customers from all over the place that come because they saw our videos and they want to deal with us. We'd be happy to deal with you. So swing on by Brantford Kia, check out the all new 2019 Kia Sedona.